Hello, it's Midday Live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. My name is Efua Tieku. The headlines. Students of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi vandalized property in protest against alleged manhandling of some students by the university's internal security. Fishmongers in some markets in Accra complain of drop in sale of salted fish days after news broke on the contaminated tilapia at Isuchuari. Fuel prices up by about 2.74%. And missing Nigerian separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu resurfaces in Israel 1 year after soldiers stormed his home in southern Abia State. We have details of all these and more in the next 1 hour. And also do remember we are live on DSTV channel 279. Now on to our very first story. A demonstration by students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in protest against alleged brutalities on them by campus security turned chaotic. The protesters refused to follow a planned route and blocked all roads leading to lecture halls to prevent both students and lecturers from accessing lecture halls. More than 20 vehicles parked on the premises of the administration block were vandalized. And pretty shortly, we'll be going over to Kumasi to speak with our regional correspondent. But before we do that, let's listen to what some fishmongers at the Kanishi market are saying. They say their sales have been greatly affected days after news broke on the poisoned tilapia at Isuchuari in the Shai Osudoku district in the Greater Accra region. According to them, they buy their tilapia from the Afram Plains in the eastern region. Wendy Lyons report.
Our first stop was at the Malamata market, but the fishmongers who sell tilapia had closed. At about 4:35 p.m., we got to the Kanishi market. Cecilia said she had sold 150 cedis worth of tilapia.
Usually, I would have sold about 3 baskets full of the fish same time in the past.
Inquired if she had heard about the poisoned tilapia at Isuchuari. She answered in the affirmative, adding she only got to know about it when she got to the market in the morning. Evelyn Tetevi has sold tilapia for over 30 years. She complained bitterly about how the news of the poisoned tilapia at Isuchuari had affected her.
My customers now prefer chicken to tilapia after the news broke.
According to her, she usually earns about 2,500 cedis, but had sold 500 cedis. She wants stakeholders to clarify the incident so their customers are assured the tilapia sold in Accra is not contaminated. Vidal Forianan was ready to leave the markets when we approached her. Having sold tilapia, popularly called Midday, in Accra most parts of her life, she is concerned about the recent happenings.
1.7 kg. Since morning, I've only sold 170 cedis worth of tilapia. My customers have stopped buying my tilapia. They prefer salmon and chicken. I buy my tilapia from Afram Plains, not Isuchuari.
Some frozen food operators we reached out to declined to speak to us, but one of the owners who spoke off camera said he hadn't seen any increase in patronage.
Now, President Akufo-Addo has described as unfortunate rumors claiming he was admitted at the 37 military hospital last night, adding he's as strong or as fit as a fiddle. He was speaking at the launch of the 2018 Cybersecurity Awareness Month in the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Center in Accra.
Captain Power Spencer, who's unfortunately there for a hip operation, has been translated into my collapse on the social media in preparation for my evacuation abroad. All I can say is that those for whom those whose political fortunes depend on my ill health and degeneration, all I can say is that we're all in the hands of the Almighty. Amen.
Now let's move on to some story on stammering, because this man was born into a family of extreme stammerers. As Ghana joins the rest of the world to mark International Stammering Awareness Day, extreme stammerer Abdul Karim Hamidou wants employers to stop rejecting persons with the condition. A report by Sarah Paco.
35-year-old Abdul Karim Hamidou holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in social work and sociology with first-class honors. He also holds a master's in philosophy in social work, all from the University of Ghana, Legon. Currently, Karim is working as a researcher in data analysis, monitoring and evaluation with the civil service. He says life has not been easy for him as an extreme stammerer, adding he consciously avoids engaging platforms, though he would have wished to participate in such. Karim lamented how some employers unfairly treated him by assessing his intelligence by only interviews.
So when they ask you a question, I'm stammering. People will think that you are not good. So it's not that it's a society. The society should not use the ability to talk as of intelligence, an index of intelligence.
He's married with 3 children, of which the eldest is also a stammerer, and he plans to assist him overcome the disability.
Happy for him, because I will actually help him to overcome it, because he is actually lucky he has a dad who stammers. Now I understand it. I understand the stammering.
Stammering has long been recognized to run in families, but scientists now say they have identified 3 genes which may cause the problem. They believe that changes which have already been tied to metabolic disorders may also affect the way in which parts of the brain function. About 1% of the world's adult population are affected. The Ghana Stammering Association says government must lead the way to reduce discrimination against sufferers. President of the association, Elias Preko, advised the public to maintain eye contact when relating to persons who stammer.
You have to demonstrate good listening skills when speaking to a person who stammers. Don't shy away or don't look away when you've seen that the person is stammering. That's makes the person embarrassed. It's as if you are not comfortable with how they are talking.
The theme for this year's Stammering Awareness is Speak Your Mind.
Now let's go into breast care issues, because breast care specialists want local pharmaceutical companies to subsidize cancer drugs to make them more affordable. They contend the high cost of treatment places a heavy burden on patients, making them resort to unorthodox methods.
The Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra, over 400 new breast cancer cases are reported daily. About 300 patients are also treated annually at the facility. It costs between 1,500 and 2,000 cedis for initial diagnosis. In recent years, there's been an explosion of life-saving treatment advances against breast cancer. Today, there is an overwhelming menu of treatment choices that fights the complex mix of cells in each individual cancer, but they come at a cost. However, patients on the National Health Insurance Scheme do enjoy subsidies.
When we take surgery, for those on National Health Insurance, it would cost probably about 2,000 cedis. You need to pay for histology after we've done the surgery, and then you need to do some preparations before the surgery, do some lab tests and all that, so it may go up a little, but without insurance, it may be about 4,000, 5,000 cedis.
For women who want to undergo breast reconstructive surgery, implants can be placed to restore a natural look.
Some are with implants, some are without, but the whole thing is called reconstruction. and it ranges from about 6,000 Ghana cedis to about 15,000 Ghana cedis or more, depending on what is done, whether you use implants or not. There are different procedures and the costs are different.
45-year-old Cecilia Johnson has lived with breast cancer for over a year. According to her, she is the only female survivor out of 10 siblings born to her parents. Her only brother and child have abandoned her due to the breast cancer, and this has made life quite difficult for her. Although the treatment has severely had a toll on her finances, Cecilia's condition is still deteriorating.
My breast is sore. I have to visit the hospital daily to dress it, but I don't have money. I want the public to support me.
Sankami was scarce all the time. Me ba ahana me be treatment no. Sen person me catch Ghana for say. Obia owo mo abi opeso boa me.
She currently needs 758 cedis to buy drugs so that her condition would improve to enable her undergo surgery. Head of breast care unit at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Florence Dede, encouraged patients not to shy away from treatments when they discover they have the disease.
If you are diagnosed early and you don't have treatments, it's as good as not being diagnosed. So beyond diagnosis, we are encouraging women not to be afraid to go to hospital and have treatment. There are all sorts of misconceptions about breast cancer treatments, but these are the proven therapies that we know work.
Dr. Dede explained the importance of public education on breast cancer and called for improved access to screening facilities to help improve health outcomes for breast cancer patients.
Let's still stay on health, and the Thyroid Foundation of Ghana is making a strong case for neonatal screening for thyroid-related diseases during postnatal care. This, they believe, would reduce the incidence of the disease among children. Close to 40 new cases of the disease are reported daily at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital in Accra.
Thyroid disorders range from small, harmless goiter, which requires no treatment, to life-threatening cancer. The most common thyroid problems is abnormal production of thyroid hormones. Although the effects can be unpleasant, most thyroid problems can be managed well if properly diagnosed and treated. As part of efforts to reduce the disorder common among women and children, the Thyroid Ghana Foundation was formed. At a forum in Accra, endocrinologists at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital stressed the need to scale up awareness to reduce prevalence.
And generally, I think education is important for everybody, whether you have it or you don't have it. Education for those who have it so that they know how to cope with it, and education for those who don't have it so that it can be detected early and then we can manage it.
Founder and president of the association, Nanada Kuneduzani, bemoaned the high cost of treatment.
Create forums where the patient will be able to ask the physician all their mind-boggling questions, and also to advocate for better health for thyroid conditions in the country by including some of our conditions on the NHIs, because our lab is not on the NHIs and it's one of the expensive labs.
Other speakers stressed the need for persons with the disorder to seek early treatment.
Away from health, the chief farmer of the Pristia Huni Valley district of the Western region, Nana Thomas Boache, says most cocoa farmers have now ventured into rubber cultivation due to what he terms as failure by government to address their plight. He is therefore appealing to government to increase the price of cocoa and also introduce other incentives to support farmers.
The farmers were speaking at a cocoa farmers rally at Atrewanda in the Pristia Huni Valley district, said cocoa farmers in the country face many challenges, major among them being the bad roads in cocoa growing areas. The Huni Valley Cocoa District is made up of 178 cocoa communities producing about 125,000 tons of cocoa annually. But the bad roads adversely hamper the smooth transportation of their produce to market centers. The rally was therefore to afford the farmers and other stakeholders the opportunity to deliberate on their challenges and find a way forward. Some of the issues raised were cocoa scholarships for farmers, increase in cocoa producer price, supply of fertilizer and other agrochemicals, among others. Nana Thomas Boache is the district chief farmer for Prestia Univalley.
One of the major challenges that the government needs to address is the price of cocoa. It is our hope to produce cocoa for us to get some money to enable us to take good care of our families. But for 2 years, government has refused to increase the price of cocoa. We are really suffering, so we plead with government to do something about the price.
He admitted most cocoa farmers are now cutting down their cocoa trees for rubber plantations due to the challenges in the sector.
It is clear that rubber farmers are always at an advantage than the cocoa farmer. Compensation for rubber farmers are even higher than what is given to a cocoa farmer.
The chief farmer for Atrebwanda, Nana Nsa, lamented they are operating at a loss due to the bad roads in the area.
We are pleading with government to come to our aid and address the plight we are going through over here, especially the bad nature of road here. And again, we wish the concerns that are expressed at this rally will be addressed.
The Ghana Cocoa Board, for 2 consecutive years, has maintained the cocoa producer price at 7,600 cedis per metric ton and 475 Ghana cedis per bag due to the continuous decline of the price of the commodity on the world market.
Well, let's still stay on the agri sector, this time on bamboo, because the Chinese government is supporting in building the capacity of artisans in the industry in Kumasi. Poor quality of products have resulted in low local patronage and dwindling its export potential. A report by Benjamin Edu.
Constitute 2 of the most abundant non-timber forest products, which could be used as a substitute for wood in the production of furniture and other products. The production and trade of wood products, especially furniture, serve as a major source of livelihood for many in southern Ghana, where bamboo and rattan resources are available. But the once lucrative business in parts of the country is fast losing its vibrancy due to poor patronage, following preference for imported products, particularly from China. Majority of the artisans have had to divert to other trades and professions. To help keep local artisans in the trade, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources is collaborating with their Chinese counterparts to train 100 artisans.
Ghana has a high forest coverage rate, abundant bamboo and rattan resources, and a good foundation for the bamboo and rattan product industry.
The move is also geared towards addressing the current alarming rate of deforestation due to the high demand for wood products.
They have seen the potential in Ghanaians, and so they want to use Ghana as a training center for Africa. That's why they are so keen in impacting their skills into us to be trainers of trainees for the whole of the sub-region.
Country Director of the International Network of Bamboo and Rattan, Michael Kweku, suggested the setting up of more bamboo and rattan plantations in Ghana.
To create job opportunity, solve environmental challenges in terms of land degradations, restoring vegetations, establishing riparian vegetations along river streams, and to provide energy for people who want to use wood fuel like charcoal and the rest, in particular the northern region of Ghana and also the southern parts.
Deputy Sector Minister Benito Owusu-Bio says the country has good policies and programs to boost bamboo and rattan production. The month-long training is expected to improve on the quality of products.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3. Let's now return to our top story, where we told you about a demonstration on the campus of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Now, we go back to the campus for an update whilst we talk to our regional correspondent as he also interviewed the PRO of the university.
Yesterday, they have already issued letters that there will be a peaceful protest today.
Yes, if somebody indicates that he wants to have a peaceful demonstration and he seeks the permission, why not grant it? And what we saw today is not peaceful. It's not a peaceful demonstration. It was a calculated act to destroy property.
And what security measures did you put in place to ensure that there will be law and order?
Well, we have our security in place. We are always in league with the police. So we had communicated. So adequate measures have been put in place. And you know, this place is an educational institution because of an intention to have a peaceful demonstration. You cannot bring hordes of policemen to be on campus. We had expected them to go by the rules. If it's peaceful, then we expected to see that. But that wasn't what we saw. We saw marauders. When we say marauders in some parts of the world, other people just raid places, seize whatever you have and take as theirs. That was exactly what we saw. I even have my doubts whether all of them are directly affected by what happened. And the information I have is even they saw buses, people were being bused from other places to come. So it was something that some people have planned ever since the university decided to make the single-sex halls mixed-sex halls.
Are you happy with the conduct of the police? Because I saw the students pelting stones at them and eventually they had to leave the students alone.
I wouldn't say I'm happy because a lot of destruction has gone on. Property has been destroyed. Works that has been done with huge sums of money, government money, have been destroyed. So I wouldn't say I'm happy. But that is not to condemn the police for anything. Well, they couldn't help us. They would be in a better position to say why they couldn't help.
So that was our Ashanti regional correspondent speaking with the PRO of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Now, former Deputy Minister of Communications Felix Ofosu-Kwakye is blaming the new Patriotic Party for bringing serious hardships on Ghanaians. But MP for Efutu Alexander Fenyomakin says the Kufuor-led government, in solving the backlog of graduate unemployment, instituted the NAPCO, which is not a perfect system, but a stopgap to combat the problems created by the erstwhile administration. They spoke on New Day.
There is the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who at the UN General Assembly, when he met Ghanaians, admitted that times are hard. So all these people are saying that times are hard.
Okay.
And yet when the NDC only highlights what is true on the ground, our Vice President says that it is dirty propaganda. So the suffering of Ghanaians, as far as he is concerned, is dirty propaganda. Now, why is it that there's even hardship? He says that, what did we do to soothe the pain of Ghanaians? Large sections of society are feeling the pinch of this government's poor economic policies, the imposition of taxation, and the extreme hardships that have been introduced because of their own policies. And instead of appreciating this and communicating to the people clear measures to address them, the Vice President and members of the MPP perceive that every criticism must have come from an NDC person.
Now, NAPCO, look, it is not a perfect system. It is not.
You admit.
Of course, that is the truth.
Okay.
Johnny, why should I come and pretend here? I'm saying it's not a perfect system. A graduate has a legitimate expectation to be gainfully employed,
right,
and to earn a decent salary.
Right.
But you and I know that the challenge we face as a country, we can make them better.
Okay.
Instead of sitting at home, looking for jobs, not getting. Somebody has been at home for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 2 years, no job. Now government says that, look, I've heard your cry.
Okay.
Let us intervene with this.
It's now time for our MTN video report for today. And our citizen journalist Concerned Citizen reports on poor sanitation at Akuse in the Lower Manya-Krobo district of the Eastern region.
Being honest to ourselves as patriotic Ghanaians, just look at the refuse situation in Akuse. 3 major municipalities ranging from Yilo, Lower Manya, and Sujamai have all their refuse being dumped in Akuse. Akuse is so developing so fast that very soon it will get closer here. So at the end of the day, if we have people in head of government, are they so much happy about this very situation, or is just because they are not living in the town with us? Please. Now, the health security in Akuse is a serious issue, and we are going to deal with it so that our voice may be heard. What kind of situation is this? Lower Manyakrobo District Assembly, please wake up. And nobody have the mind that where they are even mining the limestone, this could be used for their refill. Now you are creating all this refuse here in Akuse that is going to take the same shape of the Krobo Mountain. Let us wise up, people of Lower Manya.
And thank you very much, concerned citizen. You can also send your video to us via our WhatsApp platform 05514330044. Let's take a short break. When we return, we have business. Fuel prices up by about 2.7%. That's in business after this. Retailers in the Ghanaian textile industry have appealed to government to extend the time for the introduction of tax stamps on textiles to enable them sell out their old stock. They made the appeal during a stakeholders' engagement for retailers in the textile industry at Takrade in the Western region.
The program was aimed at engaging retailers on the proposed tax stamp on textiles, which is to be introduced later this year. This forms part of reforms by government towards addressing the challenge of imported pirated textiles. The influx of pirated textiles, mainly from China, is gradually collapsing Ghana's textile manufacturing sector. But the retailers argue the pirated ones are cheaper. Officials at the stakeholders' engagement had a tough time trying to explain the importance of the tax stamp to the retailers, who insisted government should first address their challenges. Some of them shared their concerns.
GTP designs are your down. Swabana Sebia stamp boma, Obotum Trefim. Odd man because I'm never 3 years, about 4 years, crowd one time. So one man and Kwamo me and ton, that down no one. They say Chiwabana Sebia Yakajibia, and what to me if him more ye. Oh no, Bob Wyan, because I am far or why to the fake woman. Meanwhile, Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Carlos Ayenkra, says the Textile Anti-Piracy Task Force will provide them with coded tax stamps for their old stock within a determined grace period.
We have announced to these women and men who are in the textile importation that come a certain date, which is going to be announced, and pretty soon, all textiles imported and manufactured in Ghana would have to carry a tax stamp on them. This tax stamp is security coded. There are 2 or 3 features that one can read on these stamps. Ordinary patron of this cloth would also have the opportunity to text a particular number and have a response immediately coming back on his phone or her phone that yes, what you are about to buy is a genuine piece of item.
He also touched on the importance of the tax stamp, which he says will help reform the textile industry.
The tax stamp is supposed to come to check, number 1, duty payment, 2, piracy, and 3, counterfeiting. It is so sad, heartbreaking that people would sit and with intellectual property come up with designs of their own in terms of this cloth that we wear. And somebody will just pick it and go outside and procure this cloth and bring it back in here and sell. So if government doesn't take any interventionist stance to, as it were, safeguard our industry, our brothers and sisters in these textile companies would have to be sacked home.
Now, prices of diesel and petrol have gone up at the pumps by about 2.74% or 0.14 pesos increment on every litre. Now, this is as a result of a rise in the average Brent crude price by 5.7%, with a corresponding increment in the prices of gasoline and gas oil on the international market. There's more in the following report.
Fuel prices in major filling stations in the capital have increased by 2.74%. The increase was predicted by the Institute of Energy Security just last week and is being attributed to the increase in crude prices on the world market by 5.7%. It will also be recalled that just last month, fuel prices in Ghana crossed the 5 cedi mark for the first time.
The level at which the gauge had to be when I bought, I think it was about 80 or 60 it wasn't. So I thought the guys had cheated me. Every increase takes money from my pocket, so it's something that I wouldn't like if I'm a consumer. But there's very little we can do about this, and then unfortunately, the consumer has to bite the bullet, because I personally believe that, and that's my general belief, that every government has good intentions.
With fuel price per litre rising to 5 cedi 21 pesos for both diesel and petrol, private drivers say the increase has become unbearable. Commercial drivers, on the other hand, find it difficult to pass the increase on to passengers.
When fuel prices increases, it has to affect the prices of the fares. But now, the increase is marginal. It's too much. There's going to be chaos, misunderstanding here and there. So definitely, it will take some time before they will abreast with the new prices in the system.
An adjustment for the fuel prices in Ghana. We cannot get anything from the work that we are doing. You should just adjust the fuel prices again.
They expect a policy intervention to cushion the impact of world market increases and preserve their disposable income.
Also, news just in is that portions of the Legon Mall have collapsed, leading to some casualties. Pretty shortly, we will be bringing you details of that, or subsequently we'll be bringing you details of that incident. By information gathered by TV3 indicates that portions of the Legon Mall have collapsed and leading to some casualties. Now, the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exports Promotion Authority, Ifua Asabi Asari, says the authority is committed to increasing the contribution of non-traditional exports from the current $2.5 billion to $5.3 billion by the end of 2021. Addressing a National Exporters Forum in Accra, she noted the move would enhance Ghana's lower middle income status, create jobs and ensure better standards of living.
Exports for the past 5 years recorded an annual average growth rate of 1.22% and currently contributing to 18.3% to the total national merchandise exports. Data from the Ghana Export Promotion Authority indicate Ghana's earnings from non-traditional exports for 2017 amounted to $2.6 billion, representing an increase of 3.8% compared to the $2.5 billion in 2016. The improved performance is due to increase in exports of cocoa products, which rose by 60% from $542 million to $870 million in 2017.
We want to open Ghana shops around the globe to exhibit and also sell purely made in Ghana goods. We want to be seen in all the malls around the world. These are some of the things that we are going to do. And we are starting with our own Terminal 3. We want to put a Ghana shop there where you find only made in Ghana goods. So basically, these are some of the few things. Also warehouses where we can aggregate products that are leaving Ghana for distribution from other countries outside of Ghana.
The top leading non-traditional export products include cocoa paste, cocoa powder, cashew nuts, canned tuna, articles of plastics, natural rubber sheets, aluminum plates, shea butter, fresh tuna, and cut fruits.
What we say as a ministry is to ensure that the Export Promotion Authority will be able to identify buyers of products from Ghana, to open up LCs on our Exim Bank, for Exim Bank to support these exporters to export after production and being the beneficiaries of these LCs. If this happens, we would have a cycle where our own Exim Bank will not need any guarantees apart from the LCs itself, but we're able to support farmers or be able to support exporters to produce and send their goods out of Ghana without too much hassle.
10 leading non-traditional export market destinations are the Netherlands, Burkina Faso, Vietnam, United Kingdom, Germany, Togo, France, United States, India, and Belgium.
And that's it for business. But on to some more stories. And Minister of Information designate Kojo Nkrumah says that his ministry will partner with the Ministry of Trade to see to the passing into law by Parliament the Advertisers Bill. Speaking at the 12th edition of the Gong Gong Awards organized in Accra by the Advertising Association of Ghana, Kojo Nkrumah said that the bill, when passed into law, will spell out and help enforce universal best practices in the advertising industry.
According to the Information Minister designate, when the bill, which is currently before Parliament, is passed into law, it will be binding on all individuals and organizations to apply best practices in advertising. He also urged industry practitioners to embrace the opportunities which technology offers to meet the needs of customers.
I'm happy to inform you that work on the bill has now been completed and it has now been tabled before Cabinet. My task as incoming minister, by the grace of God, will be to liaise with the Trade Ministry that is shepherding the bill to complete whatever outstanding work there is on it so that Parliament can receive and consider it and hopefully pass it into law.
The Advertising Association of Ghana, Gong Gong Awards, is organized to recognize and reward indigenous creativity and strategic thinking in advertisement which adds value to local businesses. President of the Advertising Association of Ghana, Togbo Mensah, noted that the bill will ensure discipline in the industry.
We need that bill to control our industry. That bill will bring our business to a level that is respected around the world. You have to come into the business and there are categories of things, the things you should do and not to do. And so when the bill comes, we shall be able to enforce discipline in our business.
Minister for Business Development Alhaj Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed Awal received the Special Recognition Award.
You're watching Midday Live on TV3, and coming up after the break is all the latest in sports. Winner of Talented Kids Season 9, Samuel Owusu, has left Ghana for Dubai, where he is expected to spend a week touring. Now, whilst in Dubai, the gifted rapper will visit sites including the Desert Safari, Dubai Dolphinarium, Saluja Cruise and other historic sites. The all-expense-paid fun trip forms part of his package as winner of the competition.
Sometimes fun.
Yeah.
Beat Bank.
It was a dream come true as a young rapper left his Kwabenya home on Sunday afternoon to live the much-awaited Dubai experience. He looks forward to a fun-filled trip.
Okay, I did a research and I got to know that Dubai has the biggest mall in the whole world and the biggest building in the whole world. And I think they've invented a car too. And the car, no one is inside the car. You, the passenger, is inside the car, and the car will be driving you itself.
The gifted musician was appreciative to TV3 and the British Columbia College for making the trip possible.
It feels great, and first and foremost, I thank TV3. Now I'm going to Dubai. I thank my family, everyone who has supported me, British Columbia College, and the Almighty Lord.
Young King Clef, Young King Clef, Young King Clef.
Samuel, the king of the kids, was accompanied by Talented Kids judge Benedict Yati.
As a package promised to Samuel Owusu, the winner of season 9, the day has come. Everything is arranged to have a really beautiful time in Dubai. As activities lined up, we'll be going to the Burj Khalifa, the tallest landmark in Dubai. We'll also be at the Legoland where we're going to have fun. As you can see, we have some students from British Columbia College. They're going to keep somewhere entertained, so it's not going to be lonely, you know. And we'll also do a day's trip to Abu Dhabi City. We'll go to the Ferrari World. We'll go to the Dolphinarium. There are so many places that we'll be going.
Samuel's mother, Khadija Wadua, couldn't hide her joy as she bid his son farewell.
And then manage it that many are the pass and maybe to quine. I may find a comedians with Jim, Nanny Jenny and Snahoda.
I don't be catching one.
I may catch any say, Yaman Fanning call Fanning Ras with Jim, your way be any ye and Cosonia see and since I be proud.
MPB, I promise, I did be an abortion scene and no such happier. To find a hawk, I've been an uncle, Yana, Debiana, Yana.
Well, Hip Life musician Okonfo Kwade has denied being mentally unstable. Now, speaking on Onua FM's entertainment show Enije Mre, the artist insisted he was mentally fit to do music.
Born Jerry Anaba, Okonfo Kwade has hit songs like Abroni Beye, Atajwa, Kawanantoso to his credit, but the artist has had his career slowed down over the last few years owing to his health. There were rumors that he was not mentally stable. His mother, Cecilia Asakia, had confirmed earlier that her son was mentally unstable and had subsequently sought help for him. But Okonfo Kwade, who appeared on the Enije Mre show on Onua 95.1 FM, denied ever being mentally ill.
I was a hit and so not simply because Mufi said, Bibi Hami, mean to me, yes, a fair son. So on the Mechono. Inti, Yagas will be about Dama, Meno, me fan say fanfare. Because I damn the it me barapum, Okas my bodama, meet me the Fabiaka, Sama, a bell say, ah, Nakwa Bodam Nasa Kenyans as MC. Okay. So, Inti, I know the infant you who home. Said a bill will be no who be our own pen wide. Oka. Tiadam the infant say. Great.
Okonfo Kwade confirmed his mother had taken him to a number of psychiatric hospitals, but when his mother took him to Welling Ways Foundation, a rehabilitation center in Kumasi in the Ashanti region, none of his family members, including his mom, visited him there.
I'm a rehab center, I'm a crash psychiatric. Me call Dr. Lamte haya okwa de sikafo call Dr. Lamte Jolu.
Yeah.
Me san call be extreme wa enwura bim bisa se akobo me koya de na yede na mbodam. Yakobo anyem ho na anyem no so de kwa enwuram ho na yeta ayebo nyim so obi tia. Enti for 14 years me obi de me akọ psychiatric na se ya cheme by force de me kọ ha. Ne fan say in fact kwa de me nka se me nko yo makwa ba. Hwan na be sra me ho. So that obi amesam so that means say na problems na a bit like yamfanse family or tiase.
O mama amesra.
Me mama the TV so na baba be kana adwen say ne ba na oyi say no. Ono wo de internet so na na ogi ne di. Ba me kwa me bo onyu ma ba TV so me ba internet so me gi say di no.
Okonfo Kwade, who is seeking to bounce back after years of absence with his latest song, says the industry has never recognized his work.
Me boy nyu kroma obi an award me da enko yin suma me ene abi
nya award da
me award me da shata as for ma award me da shata wale mu na ajiju omudi won shata wale nya award awa ya mani tun wa popular shata as me o ma award da kroma award be na omudi aba me me right say me come adwun onyo mo
come adwun
da bi e ma me nka say bi a wona mama kan ba me na mo right say me kan
na say me so ma bie microphone na ma sa come adwun
inti me no mo appreciate so many people no appreciations no e fake. I gotta tell you, man, nya kwara say ebony wo he kwa de mo hwe me se ho ebony wo telebo ncha ka kaslo wo mu na mo e maka se beji manu kwa masa me de untim fo asama am so untim fo asama am so
me say
mara bla.
And that's it for Midday Live for today. But before we go and look at the top stories, and information gathered by TV3 indicates that portions of the Legon Mall have collapsed, leading to some casualties. We'll bring you more on that subsequently. Students of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology in Kumasi vandalized property in protest against alleged manhandling of some students by the university's internal security. Fishmongers in some markets in Accra complain of drop in sale of salted fish days after news broke on the contaminated tilapia at Esuchwari. Fuel prices up by about 2.7%. And missing Nigerian separatist leader Nnamdi Kanu resurfaces in Israel 1 year after soldiers stormed his home in the southern Abia state. And for more news, do go to 3news.com. My name is Efua Tieku. Good afternoon.